Today, I'm giving every NBA team their best player from each era. Beginning in the days of Bill Russell through to the dynasty Steph Curry Warriors, I've taken the highest overall player from each roster and put it on their current team. Oh, and yeah, the aforementioned Bill Russell era, not actually in 2K25, but I recently made a video using a custom roster from the 1963 season, so the 9 teams that were active way back when, they get an extra boost in this video. And the only thing I'll mention before I show you all the rosters here is that I did not allow duplicate historic players on the same team. For example, the Mavericks, going chronologically through the eras, I had to take Dirk Nowitzki from the Kobe era. He was their best player. So by the time we got to the LeBron era, I didn't take another Dirk. I had to go with Jason Terry instead. I did, however, allow duplicate historic players if they played for different franchises. For example, we've got CP3 Chris Paul from the LeBron era New Orleans Hornets. He's on the Pelicans. Chris Paul also appears on the Clippers then. That's where he was during the Steph Curry era. Also, because the Steph era is so recent, there's going to be a few duplicates of guys playing now that played then, but I don't know, 2K included in the game, so I'm using it here today. And I'm going to show you every single roster very quickly. Pause if you want to see more. The 76ers get Moses Malone, Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, Hal Greer from the Bill Russell era, Andre Iguodala, and young Joel Embiid. The Bucks go ahead and pick up Sidney Moncrief, young Giannis from the Steph era. They get Ray Allen. That's a nice little addition. Brandon Jennings and old man Moses Malone. Yeah, he was not great. The Chicago Bulls, of course, from the Jordan era, get prime Michael Jordan. They get MVP Derrick Rose. They get young Jimmy Butler. Well, in his prime, Jimmy Butler. After that, it falls off Jalen Rose, Orlando Woolridge. The Cleveland Cavs, of course, prime LeBron from the Steph Curry era. Brad Daugherty rejoins the team. After that, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Anton Jameson, and World B. Free. They're pretty deep. The Celtics, of course, are far and away the best roster because they add Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Kevin Garnett, Isaiah Thomas, not bad. Paul Pierce, look at this. Look, Reggie Lou, 87s everywhere. By that I mean 87 or better. Freaking 90 overall pluses everywhere. The Clippers look all right. I gave them Chris Paul, Danny Manning, Elton Brand, young Blake Griffin. The Memphis Grizzlies only active for a few eras. Who do they add here? Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, Pau Gasol. It's not great. The Hawks have been around since the Bill Russell era. That's where they got Bob Pettit. They got Al Horford from his prime, Kevin Willis, Paul Millsap, Dominique, unfortunately not the best version, and Sharif Abdur-Rahim. The Miami Heat get LeBron from the LeBron era. He was only in 97 in that on that roster. They get who else? Goran Dragic coming back, Glenn Rice, Eddie Jones. It's not bad. The Hornets only get a few people here: Larry Johnson, Kemba Walker, Gerald Wallace. The Utah Jazz get Karl Malone, Adrian Dantley, Darren Williams, Gordon Hayward, and old man John Stockton from the Kobe era. The Kings get Big O Oscar Robertson from the Bill Russell era. They get DeMarcus Cousins, Chris Webber. They really benefited. Mitch Richmond, Tyreek Evans, Eddie Johnson. The Kings are for real. The Knicks go ahead and grab Patrick Ewing from the Jordan era, I believe. Amari Stoudemire from LeBron era. We got a Bernard King, an older Carmelo Anthony, and Tom Gola, Allen Houston. Not bad. They're deep too. The Lakers get Kobe from the Kobe era. They get Jerry West from the Bill Russell era. Oh yeah. The Lakers are very good. Magic Johnson, Pau Gasol, James. Yep. Very historic franchise. The Orlando Magic get T-Mac, like my jersey on the wall. Dwight Howard, yeah, that should work. And Nick Anderson. Only the 3 eras, I guess. Oh, never mind. They had a 4th. It's Nikola Vucevic. He just blended right in there. The Mavs I already showed you. They get Dirk Nowitzki, Mark Aguirre, Jason Terry, Rolando Blackman. They're much deeper. The Nets don't look great, man. Jason Kidd in his prime there from the Kobe era. Drazen Petrovic, Otis Birdsong, Brooke Lopez, a new best 4 players. The Nuggets, this is sick. They add Carmelo Anthony, Alex English. Jokic has some scoring help and defense. Dikembe Mutombo, also a young Nikola Jokic. The Pacers grab young Paul George from the Steph Curry era, I believe. Reggie Miller, Jermaine O'Neal, Clark Kellogg, not bad. The Pels get Anthony Davis, CP3, Jamal Mashburn. That's not a bad trio to add. The Pistons get Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman, Ben Wallace, this dude Ray Scott from the Bill Russell era. Also Rip Hamilton. He was older but should be effective. The Raps, it doesn't look good. They add DeMar DeRozan, Vince Carter, Carter, and Andrea Bargnani. Yeah, okay, sure. The Houston Rockets get prime James Harden, Hakeem from the Michael Jordan era, not quite his best version, Ralph Sampson, Yao Ming. I mean, that's too many big men, but Kevin Martin, maybe it'll help. The Spurs, dude, this is unfair. The Spurs had Tim Duncan from the Kobe era, Kawhi from the Steph era, David Robinson from the Jordan era, George Gervin from the Bill Russ from one of the Magic vs. Bird era, plus Tony Parker. It's ridiculous. The Suns go ahead and grab Kevin Johnson, Walter Davis, Stephon Marbury, and Eric Bledsoe. Oh, and my boy Steve Nash, only an 85. The Thunder, as if they aren't good enough, brother. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, joined by Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Jack Sikma, Gary Payton, Ricky Pierce. The T-Wolves get prime Kevin Garnett from the Kobe era. They get Kevin Love from the LeBron era. That should help. Who else did they get? Tony Campbell. Okay, yeah, it's not perfect. Almost at the end here, the Trailblazers get Clyde Drexler, Rasheed Wallace, Damian Lillard is back, Jim Paxson. It's literally their best 5 players. That's crazy. Golden State, Steph's got some help in the form of Wilt from the Bill Russell era, young Steph from the Steph era. That's gonna go crazy. An all Steph Curry backcourt plus Chris Mullin, Purvis Short, and Monte Ellis. Finally rounding things out, the Wizards, Walt Bellamy, Michael Jordan from the Kobe era, Bernard King, John Wall. Just a completely new rotation. We'll see if they can make the playoffs.
Yo, I wanted to give a very quick shout out to my sponsor Underdog for continuing to support my channels. Look, I know you've probably heard of Underdog by now, so I won't bore you. But if you want to play daily fantasy, get in on nightly or season-long drafts while watching the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, college football, college basketball, literally any sport, then sign up for Underdog using code JCAN. My link and more info is down below. My dog is too big for this.
Goodness gracious, no matter what I do, what video I make, it's Luka Doncic's world, winning MVP 22, 9, and 10. His numbers were nerfed a bit by Dirk and company, but still MVP. Kia Rookie of the Year, don't know why I read the sponsor. Blake Griffin, okay, that makes sense. Sixth Man of the Year, yeah, Victor. I figured the Spurs with Duncan and David Robinson. Bill Russell comes in, wins DPOY, average 17 points a game. This custom Bill Russell, he kind of scores. Cade Cunningham wins clutch play. What? Were the Pistons good? Okay, Cade, I see you. All NBA first, Luka, Harden on the Rockets, Wilt on the Warriors, Russ on the Thunder, Isaiah Thomas. So only Luka plus 4 legends. Second team, we've got young Giannis, LeBron, Ja Morant, not young Giannis. That's fun. All NBA third team, prime Jokic, Anthony Davis from the Pelicans, Big O, Bill Russell, and Shea. Very interesting mix. All defensive team, we've got young Giannis with Walt Bellamy, Big O, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell. Nice. Second team, Miami, LeBron, David Robinson, AD, Victor, and the other Giannis. Okay. Oh my word. That's not at all surprising, actually. Yeah, Boston won the Eastern Conference by almost 20. Yo, they're just going to dominate this entire video. Atlanta comes in as the 2 seed with Bob Pettit and company, LeBron and the Cavs. Okay, both Giannis's doing work for Milwaukee. We've got the Knicks, the 76ers, the Pacers, Bulls, Magic, and Pistons as the play-in teams. Shout out Kate. Missing the playoffs. Yeah, Brooklyn was terrible. Miami with prime LeBron. That's kind of crazy. Charlotte, Toronto, and Washington. They did not make the playoffs. Those all make sense. I would say I'm shocked a bit that the Heat missed out on the playoffs, but you know, it's one of these videos, man. There's so many good teams. Somebody has to lose. Okay, the Spurs. Yep, I'm not surprised they're great. I'm a bit surprised they also won 67 games like the Celtics. Kevin Garnett added to the Timberwolves and a bunch of other pieces make sense. Dallas, that's why Luka won MVP. OKC, the Lakers, Golden State, Steph and Wilt. Then we've got Sacramento, the Clippers, the Nuggets, and the Rockets in the play-in. Yep, I'm not gonna lie, the West is so much better. Oh my, the Suns folded. I actually didn't love the players I added to the Suns, but 14 wins is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the Suns unfortunately didn't get to add in his, wait a minute. Where's Steve Nash? Oh, did I leave? I think I left trades. Oh, Michael, what happened? Oh, I left trades on. I didn't do that on purpose, but that's kind of fun. Looks like a bunch of current day. Wait a minute. Kemba got traded to the Raptors. Steve Nash, my boy, going to win a ring with Denver? That would actually be sick. Oh, the Canadians teaming up. Jamal Murray, Steve Nash. Unfortunately, Denver is a play-in team, but maybe it'll work. Wow, Anthony Edwards averaging 27.6 a game. The scoring champ by a mile. Kevin Garnett must have just been in there playing defense. James Harden, 25 and 13 per game. Wow. Isaiah Thomas, 24 and 12. Cade up there in the top 5. Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis. Monster rebounding numbers by prime Wilt in the modern era, along with Bill Russell, Chuck Barkley, Walt Bellamy, and Tim Duncan. That's a good list. Assist leaders, James Harden, I mentioned. Halliburton dropping dimes. Clippers, CP3, Trey Young, Pelicans, CP3. Last thing I like looking at now before the playoffs is game score leaders, the advanced nerd analytics. James Harden, man, he had a legit case for MVP. Hold on. Oh, the Rockets were a 10 seed. That's why. Okay, James definitely had better numbers than Luka, but I digress. But let's get to it. I'm going to simulate through the play-in because none of these teams are going to make a run, right? Well, hopefully my boy Steve Nash. Okay, anyway, Steve Nash on the Nuggets, they lost. Okay, Houston almost did. Wait a minute. I'm an idiot. No, okay, Houston did not advance. The Kings make the playoffs. Yeah, I thought their roster was good with Big O. And the Clippers, CP3, Blake Griffin. Okay. Over in the East, wow. Michael Jordan and the Bulls. I did not pick up on that. They were a play-in team. However, they do advance to the playoffs. Cade and the Pistons are out. The Pacers survive. But here's our playoff bracket now. Dude, the Spurs. Yeah, it makes sense that the Spurs and Celtics, some of these really historic franchises are cooking here. The Lakers only a 5 seed. Maybe that is a bit surprising. Let's get to the playoffs, though. Wow, look at this. There's a couple. We're on the verge of a couple sweeps in the West, including OKC. Man, tough draw for the Lakers in round 1. Okay, wait, they win a game. The Timberwolves also on the verge of sweeping. That one actually makes sense. Okay, no sweeps in the first round. Do the Celtics advance in 5 games? No, they do not. Oh, but OKC a resounding win in game 5 by 17 points. Jalen Williams led them in. Oh, okay, Kobe and Pat. Man, I don't know about that one, 2K. This Lakers team was not very deep, but adding Kobe, Jerry, and Matt. What? I forgot how good those additions were. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me, but okay. Milwaukee advances with a win over the Knicks. Sorry, New York fans, but the Bucks are good. Wow, we don't even get to... Kobe, LeBron, and the Lakers are out. So are Michael Jordan, Derrick Rose, and the Bulls. That is crazy. San Antonio advances over the Clippers. At least LA took a couple games off them. But we've got a game 7 here. Prime LeBron on the Cavs against, who's it? Allen Iverson, Moses Malone, and the Sixers. These are 2 pretty good teams. And I thought we had a pretty good finish coming, but no, a 14-point. That's a blowout for the Sixers in game 7. LeBron had 43, 7, and 11. I mean, he did his part, but it wasn't enough. We moved to another game 7. Steph Curry ×2, Wilt Chamberlain and Golden State against Yo, how is this the matchup against MVP Luka? And we get to see both these teams in action, albeit for only a minute. Golden State is up 4. They could close this game out. I see both Stephs and Wilt on the floor for Golden State. I see Dirk out there with Luka, but Steph is blowing past Kyrie. That's old man Steph, Kyrie. You got to be able to defend better than that. Okay, Dallas has Mark Aguirre out there with Luka and Dirk. Dirk, you're going to miss that, aren't you? Yeah, I knew it. I knew that was a bad look. Purvis short grabs the rebound. Dallas is not fouling. What, 2K? We got to have a conversation, 2K. What did I just watch? And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. One final game 7, the Boston Celtics. The course of this entire video, my whole idea for this video would be shaken to its core if Boston loses round 1. Oh my gosh, it's not even close. It's a blowout. I don't even have to jump in to watch the final few moments. Indiana, who did I put on their team? Paul George, fair enough. Jermaine O'Neal, Reggie Miller. Dude, 2K simulation. Danny Granger. That's look at this team, ladies and gentlemen. They just beat this team in a 7-game series and convincingly in games. Look at how stupidly deep they are. Well, I mean, great. Celtics fans, I know I always hate on Boston. This time, I'm really happy because they were far and away the best roster. Over in the West, we've got the Spurs, Thunder, Timberwolves, Golden State. So just one upset. While in the East, Milwaukee, Indiana, Atlanta, Philly. 2 upsets. We love to see it. We've got one game 7 on tap, the Hawks and the Sixers. That should be good. Will we get a game 7? Spurs, OKC. No. We've got Spurs, Timberwolves coming up. No, and oh my gosh. Okay, I was trying to view this matchup. I just simulated through our game 7. Philly pulls off another upset. They beat Atlanta in 7. Milwaukee advances. I wish I saw that game 7 to see how Philly continues to do this, but I mean, their starting 5 it looks great. Allen Iverson, Chuck Barkley, Joel. On the other side, the Bucks, I mean, they have two Giannis's. They have Sidney Moncrief, but old man Moses, it's not the greatest team. Over in the West, we've got, Victor Wembanyama, 6-man. Yep, maybe I was sleeping on the Spurs. They might be the best roster out here. Minnesota's obviously amazing too. The Spurs won 67 games, and they very quickly won 3 more in the West Finals. Yeah, they've lost 2 games in both series so far. Minnesota, you better not get swept. They got swept. Kevin Garnett, Anthony Edwards, Towns, Love. I mean, they got so many big men. How'd you get swept? Man. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, the Spurs, very good team. I'll keep saying it. Now, Philly, they have upset 2 teams in a row. They find themselves down 3-2. We'll give them the benefit of the Simcast doubt, see if this changes their magic. I'm not gonna lie, I'm shocked that the Bucks are potentially about to be in the finals. And good thing I said potentially, because they just got blown out in game 6 on the road. Fair enough. Charles Barkley, 35-17. Chuckster does not want to go home, so he's gonna have to go on the road instead for a game 7. You know what I mean. All right, game 7, Milwaukee. This is your chance. Prove me wrong. You and your subpar roster, in my opinion. Oh my word, I might have reverse jinxed Philly by continually Joel going to the rim, misses. Is he gonna? He puts it back. Okay, that was lucky. Iverson, Chuck Barkley, they've got their best 5 out there. Yo, Allen Iverson, no, he just did that in the clutch around DPOY Sidney Moncrief. The man is a menace. No, he's trying to find Giannis inside for the dagger bucket. Giannis drop steps on Charles Barkley, puts it up and in. That's an emphatic finish to this game. An NBA Finals matchup we've got between the Spurs, Tim Duncan, modest numbers in the West Finals. Giannis with also modest numbers in the East Finals. I will say the Spurs, although they're not deep, like they don't have a full page of 80+ overalls. Parker Gervin, Dave Robinson, Kawhi, like, I mean, that's just, that big 3 of additions from their history is just unmatched. At least it's unmatched by the Bucks, who added, again, Sidney Moncrief, Giannis, lots of defense. Even Ray Allen's only like an 87. Moses, I don't know. This is shocking. Boston getting eliminated, like I said, changed the course of this video. Unfortunately, I'm anticipating this series being a blowout. It's been a fun video so far. Can the Bucks do something for us? Milwaukee, I'm not gonna beg. I'm not gonna beg, but oh, San Antonio's so good. Milwaukee was up by 21 points. The Spurs came all the way back. They are just a buzzsaw. In hindsight, whatever happened. Ray Allen hitting a big time 3. It's not over yet, but in hindsight, it kind of would have been epic to see the Boston Celtics versus Spurs. I mean, that would have been a good matchup. Old man CP3, what is he gonna cook? Little pick and roll with Victor. CP3 spinning on B-Gen. CP3 dicing it. Yo, that's old CP3, but he's got some moves in his bag. Yes, I like this. Ray and Jennings coming off the screen. Another one. Brandon Jennings, my guy, you once scored 55 points in a game as a rookie, but you just missed 2 huge shots in the NBA Finals. Unless the Bucks do something quickly here. Oh yeah, Dame, there you go. Why was Dame not on the floor instead of Brandon Jennings, with all due respect? George Gervin actually missed a free throw, so look at this. The Bucks could win this thing or tie it. Please don't send it to Dame Lillard. Wow. All right, Dame. Okay, flash forward. I didn't want to watch all of OT. It's a tie game with under a minute left anyways. Who's going to win this thing? Kawhi driving at young Giannis and missing, both from the LeBron era. Sidney Moncrief back from the Jordan era trying to work, or is he from the Magic vs. Bird era? I can't remember. Big time miss, though. The Spurs can not only take a lead. Why is Tony pulling up? Okay, that's why. Tony had a clear lane at a layup. Whatever, dude. Out of a timeout, Milwaukee, what you got? Give the ball to Dame. Get out of the way. That's a pretty good strategy, but Dame does miss the pull-up. I gave all 30 NBA teams the best player from each era their franchise was a part of. And after a surprising first-round exit for the loaded Boston Celtics, the path was cleared for the Milwaukee Bucks to make the finals, where they would eventually lose to the buzzsaw that was the San Antonio Spurs. With 5 championships in their history, it makes sense San Antonio would be pretty good in a video like this. Let me know if you enjoyed the video and the idea. I had a lot of fun with it. Drop a thumbs up, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. Watch another video from my channel too.